You're off. I know you got other things to do. We're at 5166 High Crest Avenue, Los Angeles, California, performing a video sewer inspection. We are running through the cleanout underneath the house. We have a 3-inch mainline cleanout, and here's the outside access door. We're going to run through here to the lower cleanout and just take a look at this section of the line, make sure everything's intact, everything looks good. Then we're going to move the equipment down to the lower cleanout and inspect the remainder of the line. This line is all ABS plastic. So far it looks to be in good condition. And then it transitions to cast iron. We're out approximately 17 feet, showing 22 feet on the camera monitor, but it also counts approximately 5 feet from the camera reel. So we're out 17 feet and we transition to cast iron underneath the house. This is the lower portion of the house. And then we have an ABS plastic tie-in. We transition again back to cast iron. And then we come up to a point right here. We have some fairly heavy root intrusion, and this appears to be right outside. We're at about 32 feet. There's some pretty heavy root intrusion in this one joint right here. We're just going to go a little bit further and then we'll mark that area. And then we've got some pretty large root intrusion at another joint. It's out just a few feet further. So we'll mark those two areas in just a moment. We'll take a look at the remainder of it going toward the mainline cleanout down at the bottom of the property that we're going to run through as well. And this is all 4-inch clay. And we also have more root intrusion here at 45 feet. We have root intrusion again at 50 feet. What we're going to do is we're going to stop right here, because if we run past this point, it's going to get the camera lens pretty well covered with film and we won't be able to see as well. We're going to go down and mark the 50-foot spot, and then we'll come back and we'll mark the other areas as well. And then we're past the clean out from what I can see, but we'll find out and locate this area. And the camera monitor will get kind of wavy because we have the locator on. Okay, we marked this area out approximately 4 feet deep, right at the upper planter. And we are at 50 feet right now. So we're going to come back and go past this area, get to the clean out, which is another 15 or 17 feet down below us. And this is 4-inch clay. We have another root intrusion right here, which we're going to mark out right now. Okay, we've marked this area out. It is right next to the air conditioning condenser outside on the corner of the house, and it is at about 3 foot 3 inches deep. This is a clay joint with some root intrusion coming in from the top. We got another clay joint, just back a few more feet. We have a crack in this pipe. You can see the line of the crack easier at about the 10 o'clock area, right toward the top left corner of the monitor, where the crack begins and it goes down around the inside of the pipe toward the bottom. It's kind of faint because it's full right now in this section of clay piping. And this is back at the foundation of the house. And now we're pulling back. And we've got a joint which is up underneath the house now. And another joint underneath the house as well. And we've got another clay joint. Those joints don't appear to be in terrible condition. This area where we have some major root intrusion, we'll try and see if we can go in and locate this area. We've located this area in the lower bedroom area, right off the corner of the house. I'm going to pull back and see if there's any other joints. See where the clay ends. We have another bit with some minor root intrusions, and we have another cracked section of clay, which you can see down toward the bottom about the 5 o'clock area, where you can see the crack. Roots are growing through that joint, and that is in the bathroom area, the lower bathroom in the corner of the house. And now we transition to the cast iron right at that point. Rest, we come back, and the bathroom area tie-in is right here. So what we're going to do now, we're going to run back in. We're going to go to the 50-foot mark and run through there and take a look at that joint as much as we can and try and get to the clean out that is just below that area, and then we'll move the equipment right after that. Now we're at the 50-foot mark. It appears that that joint at the top is offset. It's shifted, which you shouldn't be able to see. It's kind of hard to see this because of the heavy root intrusions. But there's a pretty large restriction right here. And now we're into our ABS plastic piping. We've passed our clean out, and we're making it drop. We'll pull back to that 50-foot area. We already marked that right by the retaining wall. That's our 50-foot area. We have a pretty large obstruction right there. That would have to more than likely be bid and repaired, because that area is going to cause a lot of problems. That's only got maybe about a 20% opening, and even if we try and clean it from here, we may do a lot of damage because it is pretty well offset. So we're going to pull back now out of this clean out. We'll move to the lower clean out. We had ABS plastic going past that clean out. Okay, we're just going to pause for a moment while we move our equipment. Okay, we are now running through the 3-inch at the rear of the home. Back fence. And here's our mainline cleanout. And we're about 18 feet, 20 feet in front of the air conditioning condenser. So we're going to run through here now, and we're going to take a look at the sewer down below us. We've got a pretty steep drop from here going downhill. We've got a little bit of ABS pipe, approximately 7 to 8 feet of ABS pipe, and then we transition back to clay again. Got a little bit of minor offset. That one as well, but nothing to worry about. Those are minor root intrusions and a little bit of a separation at the next clay joint, which is typical. We have a pretty substantial break in this next joint, which we're going to mark out. I believe that this is probably right at the back fence. You can see where there's a chunk of it at about the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock area that is broken, and it's coming apart at that point. You can see where it's broken, and it's starting to sink a little bit right there, that piece. Not terrible. There's some minor root intrusion coming through. If you get more roots in there and we try to clean this with a cable, with a snake, and you grab a hold of the roots, it's probably going to pop that piece out of there. It's going to pull it out. And it's cracked up further. I'm going to stop real quick and just mark this area. Okay, we've marked this area in the left-hand corner of the property where there is, I believe, a lemon tree. It's in a little circular area in brick, and that's 11 feet deep where this area is broken. We've marked it out with a green flag. Now we're going to run out further and take a look at the rest of it. Making a turn. We're going off to the left, and then we're going down into an E, looks like. There's telephone poles. That's good. From what we can see, we would have to find out from Public Works, but I believe that this is all city easement area. And this is old cracks in the concrete piping. And there's breaks in it, cracks in it. And this is the city piping from what we can see. We just have to check with Public Works. But generally, where the clay pipe stops and it makes this turn you're coming up now, that is the city easement area right there. And this is generally the end of the responsibility of the homeowner. That fitting's got some pretty good separation in it right there. And it's cracked. That pipe is also cracked next to it coming back to the next fitting. That whole piece of pipe is pretty well shot. If we're going to replace this section of piping anyways right here and fix this, we would go all the way to this city sewer connection right here and stop right there, repair that. This is the 4-inch pipe right here, the property line piping. And then you can see where it increases right here and we drop down. Right here is a 6-inch lateral, which is still on the property over by the lemon tree pretty close. And then we go in and we've got a short 6-inch and then we drop into the city sewer. So that section of line needs to be replaced. And you've got other issues in this line. Possibly replace all of this outside the house. Everything from the foundation all the way to this point. This way excavated, and you can pull a brand new line all the way through this. Now we'll pull back through the clean out. And that concludes our video sewer inspection.